Greetings and welcome to another Pokemon 2019 or Pokemon Journeys anime episode review. This time I'm talking about episode 25, so let's get to it. Episode 25 begins with Ash and Go, who are in a plane on their way to the Kalos region. Pikachu is happily eating some snacks until Ash takes them away because they are about to land. This leaves poor Pikachu depressed. Meanwhile, Go was excited about his first visit to the Kalos region, and he tells Raboot that they will catch a bunch of Pokemon. Gold then tells Ash to do his best at the Battle Fest. The plane is then seen continuing its course towards landing. The narrator begins talking and he says that Ash and Go arrived at a certain town that has a gym leader with a Lucario as her partner. Man, I wonder who could that be? So after they land, the first thing we see is Go, who heads to the beach and he catches a binnacle that he finds at the shore. His first capture in the Kalos region. He then sees a Flabebe with a blue flower that passes by and he decides to chase after it. The episode then cuts to the stadium where the Battle Fest is taking place and intense battles are raging left and right. Ash himself is in the middle of a battle. I like that this stadium has several different battlefields. There's a normal battlefield, a rock battlefield, a water battlefield, and a grass battlefield, which is where Ash is currently battling. This setup reminds me of the Pokemon Leagues and their use of elemental battlefields. But going back to the episode, Ash is in the grass field battling a trainer that is using a Clawitzer. Ash is using Pikachu. Ash's opponent tells Clawitzer to use Flash Cannon, and Ash tells Pikachu to use Thunderbolt in response. However, instead of the moves clashing, Clawitzer absorbs the Thunderbolt using its giant pincer. This surprises Ash and the audience, which includes Ash's party. I love that Dragonite, Gengar, and Riolu are watching the battle. Then we see Korrina and her Lucario who are also watching the battle. Lucario seems to be angry, but maybe is just frustrated for Ash's sake. Korrina just says, sarcastically, "What now, Ash?" Now you can't see her face, so I wonder if they were really trying to hide who she was. Like she's some mysterious character, because obviously it's not going to fool anyone. So, after Korrina says, "What now, Ash?" the opening begins. After the opening, the battle continues. Ash's opponent reveals that Clawitzer actually used the charged flash cannon as insulation to stop Thunderbolt. He says that steel type moves can be used to stop electric attacks. Ash says that they have other options and he tells Pikachu to use Iron Tail. His opponent tells Clawitzer to use Crab Hammer. Both Pokemon charge each other, but Pikachu dodges Crab Hammer and then he hits Clawitzer in the head with Iron Tail, which knocks Clawitzer out, much to the dismay of its trainer. So Ash wins, and all of his Pokemon are happy for it. Ash's opponent says, "Ash, right? I'll remember that," which shows that he respects Ash for winning. The announcer for the fest reveals that this is Ash's third consecutive win, and that his rank has gone up to 1022. If he wins one more match, he will get into the Super Class. This diagram shown back in episode 13 shows that Super Class is the Great Ball division, and it is reserved for trainers that rank from 999 to 100. Ash walks away from the stadium after winning for a much needed break, and Korrina also leaves since Ash's battle is over. The episode then switches to Go's perspective as he continues to catch Pokemon. He catches the Flabebe with the blue flower that he was chasing from before. He also catches a Scatterbug, another Flabebe, but with a yellow flower instead, a Phantom, and a Fletchling. After checking his Pokedex, he hears the cheers from the stadium and he decides that it's time to go cheer for Ash. However, another Flabebe shows up, one with a red flower, and Go chases after it as expected, completely disregarding that he was going to go support Ash. The episode then cuts back to Ash, who is sitting on a bench surrounded by his Pokemon. He looks at his rank and he says that he only needs one more win to get into the Super Class, and it's all thanks to his Pokemon. They all smile and nod in agreement. It's nice to see Ash's new team on screen together. This is actually the first time that they are all together like this. Previous episodes would only have one or two of them show up, not counting Pikachu, of course. So it's great to see them all together as a party. Ash then says, "Let's do our best in the next battle," and then a wave hits them, much like the wave that hit Ash in episode 21, the wave that came from Riolu. So I figured it was Aura from Korrina's Lucario. Ash senses it, and Riolu in particular really senses it to the point that it runs off towards the wave. Ash runs after Riolu, and they indeed end up face to face with Korrina's Lucario. However, Ash simply says it's a Lucario, but Pikachu clearly recognizes it and he greets Lucario, who greets Pikachu back, and that's when Ash realizes and he says, "Could this Lucario be?" Korrina shows up before Ash can finish his sentence and she greets him and Pikachu. Korrina then introduces herself to Ash's new Pokemon and she introduces Lucario to them as well. She then turns to Riolu specifically and she tells Ash, "You've caught a Riolu." Ash then explains where he got Riolu from. Korrina then pets Riolu and she says that she hopes it will grow stronger with Ash. Indeed, Korrina, we all hope that Riolu will grow strong with Ash. Lucario nods in agreement. Riolu turns to Lucario and then looks at Lucario with this adorable face like, that's what I will become someday? Or like it was just happy that it got such encouragement from its evolved form. Korrina then tells Ash's Pokemon that she had an amazing battle with Ash, and Ash interrupts her to say that he won that match. Korrina, with a pouty face, tells Ash that that's what you're focusing on, and Ash says that it is the most important detail. I love how Ash's Pokemon are just listening to the conversation with curious looks, like they are following the conversation with amusement. Ash then asks Korrina if she is participating in the Battle Fest, and she says that she is, but not as a gym leader. She's an active participant of the Pokemon World Championship or World Coronation Series. She wants to climb the ranks so that she can challenge and defeat Leon, meaning that she has the same goal as Ash. I guess that everyone who wishes to be strong wants to battle Leon, since he is the world champion or monarch. He is the strongest trainer in the world. So there are surely countless trainers that want to end his reign or that want to test their strength against him. Korrina says that she is doing this to challenge herself and Lucario. She then says that she is also one win away from superclass like Ash. Her rank is 1001, which is slightly higher than Ash's rank. Ash tells Korrina that they should battle and the winner gets to go to superclass. Korrina accepts, of course. Pikachu and Lucario get fired up, and Riolu was also in battle position, ready to go, but Ash says that Riolu should watch Lucario's battle closely. Riolu then starts shadow boxing. Ash stops it and he says that's the spirit, but that Riolu will just be watching this time. Ash then tells Pikachu to watch over Riolu, which shows his intent to use Gengar and Dragonite in the battle. It is understandable that Ash decides not to use Riolu because Riolu is still too young. It is the right choice, but it would have been interesting to see just how much could Riolu do against Lucario in its current level. The episode then cuts to Go once again, who is still searching for Pokemon. He asks Raboot if it senses any Pokemon around, and Raboot senses nothing. However, Raboot does pick up on something and it fires off an ember into the bushes. A Lucario jumps out and it intercepts the ember. Go gets excited when he sees Lucario and he's ready to catch it, but Gurking shows up saying that you have sharp reflexes. I guess he means Raboot. Go realizes that Gurking is Lucario's trainer, meaning that it is not a wild Lucario and thus he can't catch it. Gurking says that he is sorry to disappoint him. This entire scene was something I predicted from the preview. Gurking then says that he does not dislike Go's greed since Go was so eager to catch Lucario. Gurkin then asks Go if this is his first time seeing a Lucario. Go says yes, and he says that it is his first time in Kalos as well, so he wants to catch as many Pokemon as possible. Gurking asks how many has he caught, and Go shows him his Pokedex, revealing that he caught the red flower Flabebe he chased after before, and he also caught an orange flower Flabebe off screen. Gurking says it's impressive how many he has caught, and he notes the different colors of Flabebe especially. He mentions that it is very impressive that he caught an orange one, and Go says that he just needs the white Flabebe. Gurking says that the white Flabebe is even harder to find. This is a reference to the games where the orange and white Flabebe are the hardest to find. In Pokemon X and Y, the orange Flabebe has a 4% encounter rate, while the white one has a 1% encounter rate. Gurking says that he believes they don't appear in this area. Go asks Gurking if he is familiar with the area, and Gurkin says that he is and that he is there to watch his granddaughter battle in the fest. Go says that his friend is also battling at the fest. He mentions that they came from Kanto. Gurkin says he hasn't heard about Kanto in a while. He says that his granddaughter is friends with a trainer from Kanto named Ash that has a Pikachu as his partner. Go tells him that that is his friend. What a coincidence that they met like this. The episode then cuts to the stadium where Ash and Korrina are getting ready to battle it out at the rock field. The Rotom drone says that it will be a 2-on-2 battle as expected and the same as it was with Biscus. The audience goes crazy over Korrina and the announcer mentions that Korrina is their very own Shalour City gym leader. It's funny that Ash's opponent from earlier in the episode is also watching the battle eagerly with his Clawitzer. Ash certainly left quite the impression on him. Ash says, "Let's do this." Pikachu and Riolu are next to him like, "Yeah, let's go, we got this." Ash then sits both of them down and he tells them that they should stay there, which leaves them both disappointed. But Riolu gets up and it starts shadow boxing again. You really have to admire its determination. Korrina then screams from the other side of the field that Riolu should cheer her Lucario on and that they will show Riolu something special, hinting at Mega Evolution. Ash then screams back, saying that Riolu is going to cheer for him and his Pokemon, of course. Go and Gurking arrive at the stadium. Go points at Ash, saying there he is, that's Ash, and Gurking says this is a surprise, and he points at Korrina, saying he is battling his granddaughter, which surprises Go. The Rotom drone tells Ash and Korrina to send out their first Pokemon at the same time. Ash sends out Gengar and Korrina sends out Mienshao. It's interesting that Korrina uses a Mienshao because she had a Mienfoo before, which she used against Ash in their gym battle. So I would assume her Mienfoo evolved, but this is not mentioned at all, so it is not confirmed. The battle begins and Korrina tells her Mienshao to use acrobatics, which hits Gengar and sends it into the rock. Mienshao was very fast, so Gengar was not able to react. Gengar gets up and then shrugs off the hit. Korrina tells Mienshao to use U-turn, while Ash tells Gengar to use Psychic. Gengar lifts a rock using Psychic and it throws it at Mienshao, who simply kicks it away and then it drop kicks Gengar. That's some U-turn. Mienshao returns to its Pokeball because of U-turn. It swaps out with Lucario. Now at this point when I saw Lucario, all I could think of is Gengar is done for, isn't it? Ash tells Gengar to hang in there, and Korrina tells Lucario to use Bone Rush. Ash tells Gengar to dodge it and then use Shadow Ball, which Gengar does, and it even fires off 2 Shadow Balls. However, Lucario is able to dodge 1 Shadow Ball, and then it deflects the other with Bone Rush. Lucario then bounces off a rock and it hits Gengar with a barrage of Bone Rush, with the final hit sending Gengar into the ground, knocking Gengar out. Ash was very much shocked by this quick defeat, and so was I. I am also disappointed that Gengar lost because I totally believed that Gengar would defeat at least one of Korrina's Pokemon, but Gengar was defeated and it was a fast defeat. Gengar could not even land a single hit. It is understandable, I guess, since Mienshao was very fast and it used U-turn to swap with Lucario, who used a super effective Bone Rush against Gengar. So it was an unusual battle against two fast, strong opponents. But I wanted Gengar to do more, especially because Gengar had an edge considering it is a Ghost type Pokemon that knows Psychic going up against Fighting type Pokemon. It's likely that Gengar was defeated so quickly and without defeating an opponent because Gengar already had its battle moment in episode 18 against Biscus. And in this episode, they wanted Dragonite to have the spotlight since it is Dragonite's first official battle and its first battle against the trainer. With Gengar out of the picture, Dragonite has to carry the team. After Gengar's defeat, Riolu looks at Lucario mesmerized by its strength. Go mentions that the battle was so fast that Ash and Gengar had no chance to fight back. Gurkin says that Korrina's strength lies in her being one with her Pokemon. Go says that Ash will still win, but Rabul is like, I don't know, bro, this does not look good. Korrina withdraws Lucario and she sends out Mienshao once again. Ash sends out Dragonite, and it's funny that he simply says, I choose you, instead of saying that he is sending out Dragonite. Like he is being dramatic about his choice, like it's a surprise. But it's obvious his next Pokemon is Dragonite. Korrina says that Dragonite should be a worthy opponent, and oh, you have no idea. The battle begins with a clash of Dragonite's Dragon Claw and Mienshao's high jump kick. The clash sends out shockwaves throughout the stadium. Korrina tells Mienshao to use Double Slap, which hits Dragonite, but Ash calls for Dragon Dance, so Dragonite starts spinning, and then is able to neutralize Mienshao's attacks with the spinning. Dragonite starts spinning even faster due to the double slaps. Go is amazed at Ash's use of a stat boosting move as a defensive move, a strategy that is very much Ash's style. Dragonite stops spinning, and Korrina tells Mienshao to use High Jump Kick. Ash tells Dragonite to use Dragon Claw. Mienshao is able to hit Dragonite in midair in the stomach, but Dragonite tanks the hit and then it retaliates with a powerful Dragon Claw, which launches Mienshao into the ground and then knocks it out. The boost from Dragon Dance was definitely helpful. Dragonite screams out in victory, and both Pikachu and Riolu also scream out. Riolu is like, yeah, that's my team. So Korrina sends out Lucario and she says that battling Ash really gets her fired up. Ash says that he feels the same and he tells Korrina that it's about time she showed off what Lucario can really do. So Korrina Mega Evolves Lucario, which surprises everyone, including Riolu and Go, who is seeing Mega Evolution for the first time. With Mega Lucario now on the field, the battle continues. Dragonite was a bit shaken by the transformation, but Ash tells it it's fine, that it should just do what it always does. Ash then tells Dragonite to use Dragon Dance again, and Korrina calls for Aura Sphere, and she says that Ash is being careful by using a boosting move instead of attacking, which is unlike him. Lucario begins charging up its Kamehameha, its Aura Sphere. After the Dragon Dance, Dragonite tries to fly around to confuse Lucario, but it is ineffective as Lucario fires the Aura Sphere straight at Dragonite. Ash calls for Hyper Beam, but Dragonite is hit before it can use it. This reveals the final move of Ash's Dragonite, Hyper Beam, a cliche choice considering that most Dragonite in the anime know it, much like most Gyarados do. It's a move that denotes power, so it's fitting for such powerful Pokemon, but in truth, a special move like Hyper Beam is not a good match for Pokemon with high physical attack like Dragonite and Gyarados. So, Aura Sphere hits Dragonite and it falls towards the ground, but before it can hit the ground, Lucario intercepts it in midair with a barrage of power-up punches, with the final one launching Dragonite far and into the ground. Dragonite gets up, and it still has plenty of strength to go on. Ash wonders what to do next, and it tells Dragonite to use Hurricane, which surrounds Lucario with intense winds and with plenty of flying rocks. This keeps Lucario restrained. Gurking wonders how Korrina will fight back, and Korrina tells Lucario to use Aura Sphere, which breaks through the Hurricane and then sends the winds away. And I love that this one kid from the audience is sent flying by the powerful winds. Korrina then tells Lucario to use Power Up Punch, and Ash tells Dragonite to use Dragon Claw. Both Pokemon hit each other at the same time and they both fall down at the same time. However, they both get back up for that classic Pokemon moment where you don't know who's the winner until one of them falls back down. I was confident that Dragonite would win, but even I was on the edge of my seat since there was a good 15 seconds of no music where the suspense was built up well, and all I could think of was, please Dragonite, don't fall. Korrina's expression then changes because she realized who won. Lucario is the one that falls, meaning that Dragonite is the winner. It showed its immense power by defeating both of Korrina's Pokemon by itself. Ash gets teary-eyed and then he screams, "We won!" Ash then approaches Dragonite, who is still very much in battle mode. Ash tells Dragonite that it was incredible and he thanks Dragonite for an awesome battle. Dragonite gets teary-eyed and it gives Ash a big hug to the point that Ash falls down with Dragonite, very much reminiscent of Ash's muck. Dragonite is clearly very happy that it won and that Ash complimented it. Ash's rank goes up to 921, so he is now officially in the super class. Korrina tends to Lucario and she says it did a good job. Riolu approaches them and Korrina apologizes because she ended up being pretty uncool alongside Lucario since they lost, but Riolu looks at them with a face that suggests it has nothing but respect and admiration for them. The episode cuts to the farewell scene where Gurkin congratulates Ash and he tells Korrina that it's too bad she lost, but she says she won't give up, that this won't be the end. Gurking has his hands behind his back, and I was totally like, hey, you wouldn't happen to have an extra Mega Ring you could give to Ash back there, right? No? Okay. Just checking. Go says that the battle moved him, and Ash asks him about his captures. Go is going to show him his Pokedex, but he is clearly still disappointed that he did not get the White Flabébé as well, which coincidentally shows up and passes right by him. This is actually the first time the White Flabébé has appeared in the anime. Go chases after it with Reboot, and that's the episode. Overall, it was a great episode and an amazing battle. It was great to see Dragonite in action once again. It is disappointing that Ash did not get a Mega Ring like I hoped, but I still hope it will happen in the future. I did love that Riolu had a lot of interactions with Korrina and Lucario. Korrina is still in the Pokemon World Championship, so she will continue to battle and rank up. It is possible that she might return again in the future to battle Ash once again. By then, Ash might have his Lucario already, or Riolu might evolve in an episode where Korrina appears. Ash and Korrina can then have a battle of Lucarios, which ends with Ash getting a Mega Ring and a Lucarionite. This would mirror the games perfectly, so fingers crossed that it does happen. But that's the video. As always, leave your own thoughts down in the comments below. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and would like to see more like it, then please consider subscribing to my channel. I love Pokemon and I love making videos on both the anime and the games. Also, please consider clicking the links on screen so that you can check out more videos like this right away. Thank you very much for watching, and let's meet again in the next video.